Hello, good morning. This is video log entry 64, and currently it is 8 a.m. CST. And I'm still kind of waking up. I'm a little bit tired. I had some junk food yesterday. I went to McDonald's just because why not? Over there, I actually ran into this random homeless guy that they do that a lot, and it's annoying. Where they go into the McDonald's, and if they have money, or they just hang around at the McDonald's, they wait for somebody to come in, and it's kind of awkward to say. I don't know. It's like he stopped me right at the door, and I was like, oh, god damn it. So I gave him $5. I should say $5. I gave him $5. Yeah, so I went to the McDonald's, and he just, like, once I gave him the $5, and I don't know, he just kept chatting, and he was talking about his situation, and how he lived in Chicago his whole life, and how his family was, like, lineage of police officers and military folks and whatnot. And I was like, yeah, and some of them are from Vietnam, so I think some of them were drug addicts, and those habits kind of fell into his generation as well. So yeah, so that was I guess I was trying to sympathize with him, even though I was trying to listen, but at the same time I was like, yeah, I want to get my food. I'm too nice, man. You know, most people would just dismiss it, but like, it's just my face that I have, I guess. I was like, why not, right? I'm a nice person, I guess. And I didn't really have anything else going on because it was Saturday, and I was supposed to go to Target yesterday, and I forgot to do that, but whatever. It's fine. It's the weekend. I'm not really pushing myself too much, to be honest with you. I don't really feel like doing it. Yeah, so nothing eventful yesterday. I was walking around last night, and I found this masquerade party that's supposed to be happening tonight. I don't know, like, I would have to look at the details too, because I just took a picture of it was just like a little wallpaper, not wallpaper, god damn it, like a piece of paper on the side of like a building. So yeah, it was just this random advertisement when I was walking out the side of the street. So I took a picture. I was like, oh, why not? And it seems interesting. And I was also just thinking about masquerade parties just a couple of days ago when that showed up. I was like, oh, huh. I don't know if I'm ever going to do that, but I'd like to try it out sometime. Maybe. I don't think it's today though, so like I wasn't expecting it to be so early. We'll see. I'm already thinking about it, which is not a good sign. But I'm gonna see what the details they have, and like whether they provide masks or whatever. I don't know how this stuff works, but it seems interesting. They also provide readings. I was like, readings are cool, I guess. Just out of curiosity. Again, like I always try to be skeptical, but I'm also trying to just stop being skeptical, because it's my brain and my ego kind of pushing, being in the wave, just being there, I guess, and not always feeling like you have to analyze everything. But yeah, so yeah, that happened, and I just kind of sat around last night, and before I walked, I was just kind of sitting around and not doing anything at all. I was just sitting around and scrolling YouTube, and I wasn't watching anything on the TV or anything like that. I was just kind of scrolling YouTube and reading Reddit stuff, but I wasn't reading anything heavy. I also haven't got those books yet, so I should probably do that, because I do want to read more, like actual books, not on Reddit or on social media or whatever. But yeah, anyways, yep, that happened, and I know I was daydreaming a lot again about that girl, right? Because again, I've never ran into anybody like that before. Just so weird. And she reminds me of a character that I've read from a book. I'm not sure if you guys know of Neil Gaiman's Neverwhere. Is it Neverwhere? I think it is. Yeah. And one of the main characters, called Door, she looked exactly like her and almost smashed her face into a door, which was ironic. And I don't know. I'm making a lot of symbolic connections in my head, which I'm like, it's kind of interesting. Anyways, she was, I don't know, when I read that character, I was like, that guy, what's his name, Richard or something? I think it was like Richard, or the main character, like the main character of the book. I was like, that guy's lucky. He's really lucky to run into somebody like that. And yeah, so, and she happened to look exactly like her. Same eyes almost, at least the eyes that I would imagine Door to have in that, because she was very keen and, what's the word? Attentive. There's like another word I was thinking, cunning, I guess. Cunning would be a good word, actually. Yeah, cunning. She seems like, yeah. yeah, so I don't know, interesting stuff, I guess. But I saw the yeah. Anyways, I could talk about that for a while, but you know me, I daydream quite a bit, and yeah. Anyways, I didn't think I'd be interested. I just wasn't expecting that to happen so soon. I was like, I have other stuff to worry about. I can't worry about girls right now. If it happens to be, I'm doing something and I run into them again, then yeah, I'm probably going to speak up, because this would be my third time running into them, or maybe it was my fourth time, because there was another time in which I was going to the lake and I walked back and I ran into somebody, but they had their sunglasses on. It looked like her, but it was hard to tell, and they were looking down at their phone when that happened. So I may have run into them 3 times already. I'm not sure, but they seem to have the same hair and whatnot, so may have been them. It wasn't at 10 though. It was at 12, and it looked like they were. I don't know. I don't know. I'm analyzing it too much. So yeah. That happened. And yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for the spring and summer. I'm gonna try to find things again. Like I said, I'm going to try to find things to do and whatnot. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah. This week, not much going on. I still need to plan things out and see what I can do. I'm going to the gym as usual. I'm going to be applying to jobs every day, pretty much 2-3 jobs every day. So that's standard, and all the other stuff I've been doing. And maybe I'll do something social on Friday. I'll have that planned. And if I get my forms this week, then I'll of course go to the DMV, get that done. And yeah, I mean, there's still a few things on my plate, and today, I think I should probably just go to Target. I say I should go to Target today, but I also just don't want to do anything. So maybe that'll just be for this week as well. And then there was something else I was missing. I think I need to get a mask. It's fucking cold out. So I was thinking about getting a mask because yesterday morning I was walking close to a lake. I say yes. Yeah. Anyways, I think I've kind of compromised my position, but whatever. If anybody's actually paying attention, they probably know where I'm at right now. Sort of. Not like they'll know what city at least, but whatever. And now I'm just pointing it out. Like, okay, I need to shut up. Nobody pays attention to these anyways, so whatever. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much. I was also thinking, it was like, I'm not too much of a conversationalist, so I was thinking, maybe I should start doing streaming things to interact with random people and whatnot, because I realize back and forth stuff I'm not that great at. I can listen, but sometimes I just don't know what to ask. Like, okay, it's usually one-sided. It's not as fluid as I'd like it to be, where it's more at a certain level where you're kind of going back and forth about inquiry and questions and whatnot, or if it's not, you're not just the person asking questions, or they're just the person asking questions. It seems like when I'm in a conversation with most people, it tends to be that way. But then that's usually the phase in which you're getting to know somebody, and I've only been interacting with most people at a surface level, so that's probably the reason why. I mean, the only person that I haven't been interacting with too much on a surface level is Carrie in this area, and Keith as well. We've been chatting more about just normal human things without having going through this phase of inquiry and answering questions and whatnot. So those are 2 people I've been doing that with. So I mean, I'm not that bad of a conversationalist. I usually know what to say, but sometimes I'm not trying to analyze it too much, because you should just embrace who you are and whatnot, right? And if that requires me to go on random tangents and going back to the main subject, or not going back to the main subject, from like 5 minutes ago that we could have continued, then so be it, right? It's just how my brain is sometimes. I realize I do that. I was talking to the Uber guy that was taking me, well, actually both Ubers, because I had to take Uber there and back and whatnot. So during our conversations, they would talk about something, and then I would say something, and then he would want to stay on that subject, but then I would start going on multiple tangents on that subject that just may seem completely disconnected from what we were talking about, even though it makes sense in my brain. But most people, they get confused pretty quickly, or it's funny because, well, one of them was foreign and the other guy seemed to be more English speaking, so he probably understood me more. But it was kind of the same thing, because I don't know. And it's funny because you'd go for 2 or 3 minutes, and then finally you'd go back to what he was talking about. It was centered around them, though. You know what I mean? They weren't released. I don't know. Maybe my brain's just running too fast. I don't fucking know. Or maybe that's just how you're supposed to talk to people. I don't know. it felt the same way with Keith and Carrie as well. They tend to stay in one subject, and I tend to disperse out into multiple subjects too quickly. I think it's because it's just my brain is more divergent, and it's just how I see things and communicate with others. And I'm also connecting my mouth to my brain as usual. I guess this is considered to be my authentic self, and maybe some people are like that, but they realize that most people aren't, so they have to kind of put this mask on and pretend to be somebody else that they're not. And I can do that for a while, but once I get comfortable with somebody, it tends to just, that mask kind of falls off pretty quickly, and then that divergent part of my mind, I just let it control my brain and connect to my mouth. So, because it gets pretty boring just kind of like going through those states of inquiry, very linear fashions and whatnot. I miss out on a lot of details too. Sometimes I miss out on critical questions that most people would want you to ask, right? Some people like talking about themselves, and they would want you to ask particular questions about the details of what they're doing or what they're interested in and whatnot, and I tend to go over that quickly. And it's either they let me take control of the wheel, or I go on for a little bit, I stop, and then they go back to what they were talking about, about themselves, or about something they're interested in, typically. It's like their own world and whatnot, so, yeah, anyways, whatever. I'm kind of doing that right now, sort of. I don't know. I'm kind of analyzing everything, though, so I'm not really talking about my interests. I'm just trying to figure things out, and I'm touching I don't know why I'm doing this. Hands aren't sweaty though. I mean, I guess that's a good thing, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I've been looking at random spiritual things again. I keep mentioning that. Obviously, you guys know that I'm in that trend. I've been sort of thinking. I was like, I don't want to push myself much. I know there are a lot of things I am interested in, like science and technology and whatnot. But I'm just going through this phase of practicality almost. I'm trying to, again, like there are pieces in my life that I'm missing that I need to fix pretty soon. And it's kind of hard to focus on those things when those other things are kind of like circling your head, like finding a job, where do I get income, and all that other stuff, and just finding a place in the world, right? Finding friends and quote unquote tribe and whatnot. So it's kind of hard to focus on those things as of now. But I know what's going to happen once I start feeling comfortable. I'm going to probably start going back to those, because all that time is going to be lifted once I find a job that's like 8 hours a day. And I'm definitely, I'm going to be up for typically around 16 hours. So I'm going to have like an 8-hour time chunk of, self-care and responsibilities for 4 hours. And I'm probably going to have like another 4-hour time chunk of, things that are centered towards me and what I'm interested in at the time and whatnot. So it's not too bad, 4 hours a day. If you're working 80 hours a week, it's not too bad. Not too bad. And then you get the weekends and whatnot. It's not bad, You get the rebellious kind. My brother was also the rebellious kind. He was the kind of person when he was younger. He I don't think he's as rebellious as he'd like to think. He tries to be that way because he feels like it's right for him. I don't know, but he would always complain about 9 to 5. Like 9 to 5 is not too bad. There's structure, and structure is pretty good in life. And I mean, sure, you can be an entrepreneur or a business owner, but that's a lot of responsibility. And sure, you can do a gig of some sorts. There's another word I was thinking about, but I can't remember. My brain's blanking out. Whatever. So you could do gigs and whatnot, and you can be self-employed, and you can be a consultant, maybe, possibly. And I think I'd want to be there eventually, some kind of consulting position, somewhere, probably in technology. Because I can't really see myself being anywhere else. I don't think I'm that artistic. I can see myself. I'm creative, but the thing is, when you're artistic, I don't know, like. I can't see myself painting for too long. My head's always running, and it's hard for me to sit down and paint when my head's always running, if that kind of makes sense. I mean, I cook, but I cook simple things. You know what I mean? I don't cook any extravagant dishes. I tried cooking stir fry, and that was good, I guess. I did that for a while, and it was tasty. But at the same time, like I'm just not that interested in cooking. And it's an art form. But it just takes a lot of commitment and dedication towards doing that thing. But again, I said I wanted to do more physical things with my hands and whatnot, and that's enough, I guess. It's enough to keep me in the moment for a little bit. Meditating as well. Cooking is a form of therapeutic meditation to some extent, because you have to be there when you're cutting your chicken. And I actually do, like, I turn off my mind for a little bit, and I just focus on that one task, and I don't know, it's nice, peaceful. And yeah, so that's kind of cool and all. And oh yeah, I also got my money from my dad because he got his PC finally, so that's nice as well. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of want to do more things in my hands, because the thing is, since my head is running all the time. I also had coffee this morning. I had 2 cups of coffee this morning. I'm trying to actually, you know what? I think I said I would take coffee out of my schedule, or just my life, and I'm gonna start drinking tea instead. So I think I'm gonna do that soon. And I've been working on this whole discipline thing and staying true to your word. And I said I think I'm gonna do this soon. I am going to do this. I'll be specific. I'm going to do this starting tomorrow. But okay, fuck. I still have coffee grounds left. So after that, it's kind of hard. But I think I'll just go through that pot of coffee that I have left, and or container, can of coffee. There we go. That's the word. Yeah. So yeah. I don't know. I'm just going off on more tangents. I wasn't expecting my brain to just find things to think about, but I'm just letting myself go. You know, I'm loosening my shoulders. I'm not trying to analyze anything really. I have these books still. You know, these books that I have, like. I got this thing because I was into electronics for a little bit, and you know, because I was into embedded systems, and I decided to get a book on just simple electronic stuff, like simple electronic components like diodes, rectifiers, resistors and capacitors, everything that you think of when it comes to electronics, for the basics at least. And then I also have like 2 books on more advanced electronics that involves partial differential equations. There's like another book called the Art of Electronics, which is supposed to be very complicated and a lot more advanced in comparison to somebody that's not really into this kind of stuff, or hasn't really been exposed to this kind of stuff, because there are a lot of young people that were exposed to electronics at a young age, and they tend to go through school going down that route. Maybe if I were into electrical engineering, then maybe I would. But I also have another book that is called Electronics for Practical Innovators or Inventors. Electronics, I think it's called Electronics for Inventors. And both of those are supposed to be advanced, pretty damn advanced actually. It's all partial differential equations, and then you have, you have Fourier transforms in there because you're dealing with a lot of analog signals, and they're trying to find ways to convert. There's DACs, digital to analog, and the other way around, ADCs, analog to digital converters. And if you want to model it, you have to use Fourier transforms. Because you have these pulsating alternating currents, and these alternating currents can create square waves, which is digital because zeros and ones, right? That's what they're trying to do. So yeah, there are ways to model that using Fourier transformations. Fourier transformations are just a way of creating anything, really. You can actually draw with Fourier transforms any kind of smooth. Does it have to be smooth? Because square waves are not, I think they are smooth. They're approaching this, it's kind of like taking a limit on like a point, and then that point can actually be visualized as a non-smooth function. It's approaching it, but infinitely approaching it. Almost, it's not, obviously you can have infinitely many sine and cosine functions. I mean, there's no way you can do that because you have a certain frequency, right? So, yeah. So anyways, it's kind of interesting stuff. And I mean, I mathematically understand it for the most part. And I don't remember all the relationships for Fourier transformations, because you see that in partial differential equations a lot, and sometimes you see it in ordinary differential equations. But that's just a lot of complicated math. But I don't know why I air quoted that. It is actually, I think it's fairly complicated math. Like electrical engineering. I'm not even going to downplay it. Electrical engineering is actually a fairly difficult discipline in the theoretical sense. So Um, yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting stuff, but yeah, I don't know what's going off on a tangent. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, like I have these books, and you know, I've already talked about astronomy and this science desk reference book that I have that I don't know what to do with. I'm trying to clean my space up, but I may just keep them for now because I don't know what else to do. And I went to that the bookstore for the other two books, and they said that they couldn't accept it. So I wanted them to accept the return because it would have been easy that way, but it was a part of their policy. So I had to figure out either I keep it or I had to find a way to get rid of it. Or maybe my dad would want it. I'm gonna ask him actually. But I want money. I want money. You know, this MacBook Air, I really want to get rid of that too and get money. Because I know it's an old MacBook Air, so I don't know. It was originally $100, so I could probably get 50%. I could probably, I don't know, $500 or thing. I would have to look at eBay to see good references and to see if I can find a good price point for it. Other things to think about. And then I have a bunch of other random shit that because I was whatever. I go on random tangents, and that includes my interests as well. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. I think that's it for now. Yeah. Happy Sunday. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.